good afternoon. Well, probably good evening, just, based on how it goes today. But today we have to go ahead and give a Raging Demon send-off to Dave Mallow. He was the English voice actor of Akuma in Ultra Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Street Fighter X Tekken. So let's go ahead and get his man his sign out. He recently passed. Yeah, man, one of my favorite characters from there. So, we gotta, we gotta go ahead and show our respects right quick. Now, to move on to the next conversation, because, we gotta break it down.
I got confirmation. Don't worry about where I got it from, but I know she was there 100%. She was also on stream.
Basically, an ex-girl is on one of the streams of somebody a guy has a problem with. Same old story, same old tune, but just to catch you up on what's going on.
So it says, Breezy says a woman will for real go to the lowest after a breakup just to try to hurt you back.
No, losers try to do that. I'm gonna tell you something. Dudes do the same thing. Petty ass dudes do the same thing. Like getting a girl pregnant that they know don't want to be with them. Or a woman having a baby with a man that she know don't want her. Everybody's always doing some conniving mess. When you got something going for yourself, typically people aren't trying to crash out to get even when they got something going for themselves. These are losers. People who do stuff like that are losers. People who aren't losers in life, when they have an ex that moves on, they're not moving on to somebody who's still going to be in the public view of them. They're moving on to where you can't see them no more. You know what I'm saying? They're not moving on, so you're still in their public eye.
This is why you don't show your in public. You seen a pic too? This is why you keep your a secret.
Okay, now let's go ahead and have this conversation. This got nothing to do with keeping your woman a secret. The thing is, when it comes to social media, period, it doesn't matter if you're a big name or a small name. You don't put your business or your relationship business on the internet because people are messy. People are messy in general. This isn't even just limited to now. This is even beforehand. This didn't matter if you were on MySpace. It didn't matter if you were on Facebook. It didn't matter if you were on Dallas Peeps or Hot or Not or any these are old sites. You talking about the early 2000s. It doesn't matter what site it was, Moco Space, it doesn't matter. You don't put your relationships on the internet that's accessible to anybody because you do not want people in your business. You don't. Especially if one person's found more attractive than the other, or people are just out there starving, or they just want who you're with. That's why you don't. It's always best to keep your house business in your house. Just point blank period. It doesn't matter if you're big, small, medium, it doesn't matter.
She was all in Jason's stream? Oh yeah, because she's Asian too.
What that got to do with anything?
Ain't no friends in the industry, bro.
Ain't no friends in general. I mean, you'll be cool with people, but 95% of people you'll meet in your life will be acquaintances. Even the people you consider, like, let's just say outside of all of this, your best friend, more times than not. And now I know you're probably going to reflect on this. I ain't saying this to mess up no relationships. You're going to be compromising or giving up. Basically, for a friendship to work, how can I make this simple? One person will always compromise more than the other. Somebody's going to have to compromise to the will of the other person for that friendship to work more times than not. And there's that extreme rare case where both people kind of see eye to eye, but it will still be imbalanced because one person will still kind of waver. And what I mean by that is, like, you'll do certain things to where you're not trying to argue with this person, or you don't want to step on their toes. Not even like you're scared or nothing, but it's kind of like you arguing with them over something so minuscule is not worth it unless you have that kind of relationship with that person. Does that make sense? So you kind of just be kind of careful how you conduct yourself. Okay, here's a good example: politics. You'll be 100% cool with somebody, but you'll dodge politic conversations because you know the way that they are. You can't talk to them. You can't say anything to them. That's what I mean by you have to waver or kind of step to the side to be cool with this person, even if you vehemently disagree with what they believe in, but you don't feel it's worth throwing away your friendship. Or if you do for a person and they don't do equivalently back, but they do just enough, but you would like for them to do more, but it's not a big enough issue, so you're still compromising to remain cool with this person. It's just little things like that. And I'm not saying it like that person's doing it with ill intent, or they're intentionally trying to step on your toes, it's just inherently, they're not doing it on purpose. It's just they may not be as considerate as you would like for them to be, but you also not trying to overstep your boundary and be making requests. You know what I mean? So if it's just not a natural way that they are, you just kind of accept them for who they are. But a true just friendship, I just know this person's not going to do this. This guy's not going to sleep with my wife. My wife's not going to sleep with my best friend or whatever, or this person's not going to steal from me in business, or they're not going to do this or do that, or not trying to undercut me for a job. The reality is people are messy in general on a large scale. And the closest to you, this was the big deal with families. Families, they'll do you dirty too. But usually people who are raised under the same bracket, same households, and have the same ideologies, those are typically supposed to be your best friends because they grew up like you did. And people have a lot of different lifestyles. So relating to a lot of different people on a level like that, where it's like, oh, just true friend, where they would never screw you over in no kind of way, shape, or form, small, big, whatever, it's rare. People are just inconsiderate on a large scale. It just is what it is.
You said she was chatting up with Jason, touching on him. I need footage.
For what?
You got that for me? He's gassing it. I mean, even if it was the fact that she popped on a FaZe stream knowing that her ex and FaZe don't get along like that, it just shows you chicks are foul, bro. Like,
we not gonna do that, because I guarantee you, if I went to his girl's Instagram and I scrolled back the whole time they've been together or before they were together, you knew what kind of person you was dealing with. This is what I don't like. I don't like how people will sit here and choose somebody sorry as hell, and then when they do something specific like that, like if you got a person thirsty or whatever, they know you got some type of notoriety and they don't really like you for you, don't treat you like they like you for you, which they don't like you for you, because it's obvious. It's not a question. I didn't know she really, come on, bro. Like, come on now. Now, I know this might be hard to tell for any man who has never really been desired by a woman for real. I get how you would miss that, or how you wouldn't see it, because you never seen the difference, so you really wouldn't understand. But for somebody who's never experienced it, just pay attention to how women behave around around men they want versus men that they don't. Matter of fact, just look up the Chris Brown stuff. If your woman is not treating you like the ones paying $1,000 to take a picture with Chris Brown, they don't want you like that. They don't like you like that. If they're not all over you, they don't want you like that. And I don't mean in a manipulative way where they do that and then they ask you for something. But if they don't truly, just pay attention, look at relationships or situations where the women are kind of more or less all over the guy, or trying to always be close and or attached to him and not wanting anything from him, versus, oh yeah, you can take me out, but I'm gonna need 500. Oh, we gonna have to go on these trips. Oh, I'm gonna need this new bag. Oh, I'm gonna need these extensions or this weave or whatever it is. Look at how they treat you. A woman that actually wants to be with you, she ain't gonna want nothing from you. I ain't saying she gonna be free, but she's not gonna want anything from you. And when I say free, let's be clear. I'm saying that it's not a requirement that you pay to spend time with her, but it's not gonna be free, because when you give up your time, you're giving up opportunity for earning extra income or doing anything. Time costs. People always put money as the most expensive or the most profitable, whatever it is. Your time is the most valuable asset that you have. So when you spend time, you're still spending. Based on who you are, your time could be worth $100 an hour. If you sacrifice 3 to 5 hours, you just lost $500, a potential $500. You know what I'm saying? You do that 3 to 4 times a day, and you talk about 7 days, you done lost almost $3,000 in a week. You see what I'm saying? But even then, if you have a lady under your bracket or whatever, or under you, you're going to be spending, whether it's the lifestyle you're providing, the way that you guys eat, not saying that you're spending it on her directly, but she is involved in your lifestyle. So that is another bill. So she will cost. So yeah, these dynamics, they go a little bit deeper than face value. And I ain't trying to ramble, but I'm trying to cover a lot of these bases without doing too much, if that makes sense.
You just can't trust them. I'm not saying that she smashed or anything. I don't think she did nothing like that. She seems like a respectable chick, at least. Like,
you should know better than that. There's plenty of women or chicks who present themselves or sort of act like they're respectable. Don't put it past nobody. It doesn't matter who it is. You don't know what anybody's doing. But my only point is, if somebody's showing you obvious signs of certain types of behavior, you should know better. Now, if you get fooled by somebody who's putting up the mask and they're acting like they're not this person and they do it, I could see where you'd be mad. I could see where you'd be upset. I could see where you would feel some type of way because this person was not showing that this is how they are. They were faking it to make it. And I'm always a big proponent of this. Don't lie. If this is who you are, don't lie. Keep it all the way real. Don't lie and try to get what you want and hide what you do to get over on somebody, because if they find out what you're doing, or they find out and you're not who you're portraying to be, I'ma just say you get what you get. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Do not come off as a certain type of person and be somebody completely different. Do not lie, because I feel like once you lie to somebody, you no longer reserve the right to dictate how they respond to your lies, because not only did you just waste their time, you just sat there and lied to them, manipulated and tried to get over on them. That's actually an attack on somebody. You literally just brought upon an attack on someone, and people don't see it that way. But no, if you come over here to me, you waste my time, you have ill intent, and you do me dirty, and you lied about it, versus just being upfront like, hey man, I'm out here in these streets wilding out. Look, I want the money. I don't care nothing about you like that. If you keep it real the whole way, or dudes, I'm just trying to lay with you, I don't really like you like that, or I don't want a relationship with you, I ain't trying to do all that with you, and you saying it up front like, look, I want to deal with multiple women. I'm not just dealing with you. I ain't about to just deal with you. Versus, oh, I love you, baby, you everything to me, and I don't want nobody else. But then you over here, you sneaking off, sleeping around on this woman. And I'm the type of person, I don't feel sorry for nobody. If you get what you get, if you sit there and manipulate somebody, then try to take advantage of them so you can have your cake and eat it too. I'm one of them type of people. I'm like, you started it. You swung first. In my opinion, it's a you swung first. But by the letters of the law, I say just handle it accordingly. Don't do nothing that'll put you in prison or in jail. But that's how strongly I feel about it. So if I were to see somebody react a specific way to somebody lying to them and putting on a persona of somebody else, I'm gonna say you shouldn't have did that. But I understand. I understand why you got what you got, because you was doing wrong. Now, am I saying it's right? No, but I understand.
For her body, but the fact that she like pulled up to a phase party and folded, that's crazy to me, bro. To be rocking with Bruce. How long was she rocking with Bruce before they broke up? How many years? 5. You said 5. I thought it was longer. So like 5 years. So half a decade. Bruce 23. My math ain't that great. What's that? 17? Let me see.
It'd be 18. But even then, man, any relationships and things like that in your middle teenage years, and we're talking about 13 through 17, typically those don't hold. They typically last till about 20, 21, till they get out in the real world, and then they realize they don't want to do that, or they don't want to be there, XYZ, whatever. Typically the real relationships start around 22 to 25, but it's usually best to stay with the person from teenage years, because you grew up together. A set of your emotion that was there, it ain't there no more as you get older. So it's usually best to have that tie to people as you're younger. But hey, it is what it is. And I also get it too, the levels of maturity might not be there, and also, life is not really, for anybody under the age of 18 watching this channel, your life is not a real representation of what your life really is until you're out here paying your own bills and you're interacting with other grown people. Like, once you have free reign to move as an adult, circumstances and situations change, and then you realize, is this situation circumstantial? Am I with you because you were all that was there? It's stuff like that. Basically, you couldn't just move around, see anybody in a new city, go to another state, leave the country. You couldn't do none of that. You didn't have a crib on your own. They didn't live with you. So a lot of the stuff that you may find out later and or see or then realize, like, dang, I really don't want this, or I don't like that. That's typically what happens.
So 16, never mind. Right? 17 plus 5 is 22. 16 plus 5 is 20. Never mind. Yeah. 18, my bad. Yeah.
Bro, you can't do 23 minus 5? How the hell did you get out of high school? That's basic math. Come on, man.
Add a year. I was a point off. I'm better doing word problems than math in my head, but
At least he admits he's not good at doing math in his head. But nah, bro. Nah. Word problems are more complicated than flat out number problems because the numbers are right there. If you can't do it with the obvious problem in front of you, there's no way you're doing a reading problem. There's no way. I don't believe that. I'm supposed to believe that you're gonna be able to solve that Sally has 18 apples, John takes 5 apples, then Eric gives Sally 2 more apples. You supposed to do that, but you can't do 23 minus 5. Nah, bro. No.
But anyways, so yeah, bought her hella bags, probably bought her Cartier bracelets, all that type of shit. They had a life together, bro. Took her all around the world, everything. But like I said,
and see, that's his bad with not having the wisdom and the experience and nobody to teach him. Like I'm telling you, there's no guidance out here. You cannot, if they were 18, 19 years old, and let's say he came into money earlier, and you're doing all this luxury stuff and traveling, you already making a mistake. You already doing too much. Once you coming in the game and you're doing all that and you're doing back to back spending, that's going to be an issue that you bring on yourself. And you can't trick your way in a relationship. And when I say trick, I don't mean like tricking, like fooling. Tricking as far as you just blowing money, spending money because you just become a wallet. And this is one thing that I'm going to tell you. If let's just say, this is not saying this is what happened, but if she ever got irritated, oh, you buy her a bag, she upset with you, take her on a trip. You see that comes with consequences. But see, a man who understands his worth is not going to do that. He's going to be like, oh, I'm not. She's going to be like, look, I ain't doing that. And if you want to leave me because I don't do what you want, then you can go. You can go find somebody else. And that could have been cut off years ago. And that comes with experience. That comes with wisdom. He didn't have a father to teach him that. If that was a situation. But a lot of times, most dads, one thing that I've seen them do the biggest mistake, happy wife, happy life, or trick it off, just, oh, she's upset, just spend money on her. No, what you're saying is you're a wallet, because that same woman will go off and deal with a man inside of his car, deal with a man straight out of prison, deal with a man with little to nothing because she's attracted to him, or because he got muscle, or whatever the case may be. It did not cost him that much to do that. So if you were spending like crazy, she don't really like you like that. She only likes you for what you can do for her specifically. Does that make sense?
Hey guys, the crazy thing about it, I'm not going to disrespect her or anything like that, because that's not my place to do that. But the crazy thing about it is, like, it really don't matter. Like, when I'm talking to you about like decisions and like that, bro, you could be betrayed by anybody. This is why, a guy, you should always keep a million layers to you. Because imagine the secrets and everything that Bruce might have told her. She knows everything about them.
Yeah, that's true. Don't be out here pillow talking. Don't ever be out here pillow talking. What you know is what you know. Because you setting yourself up for failure. I'm telling you, Reddy, he's 100% right on that. Watch what you be out here saying. Because you gonna see, you ain't gonna do nothing but give them ammo to destroy you when they feel like it. So don't ever do that, because men aren't typically vindictive like that, as far as we'll systematically try to destroy a woman with the information that she gave us. But a woman get mad, she gonna blast it all on Facebook, all on YouTube, talk about you all dirty, try to destroy your reputation, try to get you fired from your job. Yeah, man, they get ill. Especially if they feel slighted or they feel some type of way, man, they gonna try to destroy everything about you. That's a fact. And trust me, bro, all that, I never do this to you, or you're special and you're not like anybody else, bro. Don't fall for that lie. You ain't special. You normal. You normal like everybody else. Don't ever put it in your mind that a person will not come after you or try to destroy you. Man or woman, but particularly women, are known to be extremely vindictive. extremely vindictive and very vengeful. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
This is why you keep a lot of to yourself. Told her she got to keep everything he bought her. She got to keep well, for her to pull up to this phase party is complete disrespect. As soon as I seen this little area, I was like, oh, yep, she's in LA. So that means that after the whole Bruce diabolical, that means that she had no respect for Bruce whatsoever. That means the whole 5 years of their lives spent, she had no respect for this man.
I promise you, this is not the first time she's showing it. Look at Travis Hunter. This dude's a Travis Hunter. This is not her first time doing it. She already showed him multiple times she don't respect him. I guarantee it. If I were to go through his content and go through their history, if it's online, I could tell you every single time that he was slighted by her. Every single time. Every time. Because people who do stuff like this show signs that they'll do things like this. It's like I said, it may not be obvious to him, but if from the outside looking in, it's very obvious.
If a woman really has respect for you after the breakup and you're in the limelight, they won't leak anything about you. They're going to move on. But the fact that
see, this is a big mistake, especially with men who have notoriety or a lot of power. When that woman knows that you have that going on, off rip, it's damn near impossible to have a woman respect you for you or actually care about you for you. Because once you have something and you have a lifestyle, you don't know who really likes you. A lot of people, more times than not, will always do things to get something from you. And once you get to a certain level of success, especially if it's known success and you're a public figure, so your success is public, whether it's the thought of your success or people have the impression you got that kind of success, I'm gonna tell you something. I deal with a lot of people. And when I tell you, they over here, they not even balling like that. But the fact that they have a status online, always in their DMs, people asking them for something, whether it's a man or a woman, whether it's a woman asking for a cash app, whether it's a dude asking for them to give them something, or can you do, that's all it is all day. And these people are not even rich, they just have a lot of views and a lot of notoriety on social media. So it's over with. Once you get to that status and you don't already have somebody, it's over with. It's like a catch-22. It's like you have to get them before you reach status. And if you have status, this person cannot know about your status. So the only way that you can actually deal with somebody is somebody who's not familiar with what you do. So if, say, you're a big time streamer, you're going to have to deal with somebody like who's a polar opposite, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum from you. So if you're big on social media, you're going to have to find somebody big in the business world or somewhere else where they wouldn't really see you, so they really wouldn't know who you are. So they wouldn't be making decisions, because when you look at somebody who has a lot going for themselves, your view of them will be skewed. You stop looking at them for who they are. You start looking at them for their achievements. And that's how you wind up with those situations. That's how you wind up with people constantly faking it around you. So you have to get these people before you get there, because once you get there and you obtain it, it's borderline impossible. Look at Tyrese. I mean, Tyrese is choosing bad, but just look at what Tyrese is going through. It doesn't matter if it was Samantha or whoever else he's dealt with, because again, she wasn't really coming off, because supposedly she's a relationship guru, quote unquote. Now she was a religious woman, but you divorced your husband and you're over here raping him in the system, trying to get money from this man and rob him of his money when he's just wanting to be with his kids and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And this wasn't even somebody who came off like that at first, but she knew who he was. She knew how she can get over on him, and she did. And while still sitting on YouTube talking about relationships, ironic, isn't it? But also a problem is you could be in love with the idea of this individual as well, because if they're a media entertainer or a character, you can mess around and be infatuated or obsessed with that character. But that character is rarely who that person is in real life. That's not who they are. You get enamored with who their media personality is. You have a parasocial relationship of a non-existent individual, of a character. So you're obsessed with this character who is not the person, who has a mask of the person. So when you're with that person, you're like, damn, this person get on my nerves. Because once the glow dies down and you're around the person 24/7, it is not the same. the romanticizing of, oh, you had a song that I vibed with, or an album I vibed with for an hour, and you were your most attractive self. You never shed a tear. You never stank at any point in time. I didn't have to worry about if you were clean or not. Things like that. Oh, your toenails too long. Just little stuff like that. Oh, when you eat, I don't like the way it sounds when you eat. You see what I mean? When you wake up, your breath stank more than normal. Or it's just little stuff like that where you can get obsessed with the perfect version of somebody, and once you actually get it, you're like, I don't really, damn man, I don't like this person at all. And that could have possibly happened too, coming to Tyrese and a lot of celebrities, because they are romanticized by the general public, making them appear bigger than they are, like a Superman, a superhuman, or some type of hero. But we're not heroes, we're regular damn people. But people can't separate the hero from the individual. That why you think every time these celebrities go home, the relationships fall apart? Because they're never there. You can romanticize the parties and all of that, but when you're around this person 24/7, it's like, damn, they get on my freaking nerves. I can't stand them. Oh, I can't stand. I got to get out of here. I can't stand them. And I'm not saying that makes people bad people, but it's just, there's a drastic difference from, I'm married for 20 years, but I see my husband or wife 7 to 8 hours a day. Or I'm married for 20 years and I'm with this big head ass fool 20 hours of the day. Or we work together, or we're always around each other all the time. Or we work from home, so we really around each other for real, for real. That's a different relationship and a dynamic. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different ball game. Let them go ahead and continue.
She was probably getting so many DMs from FaZe and so many DMs from in the clique.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. I don't know if they did it or not, but you corny. If you pulling Aubrey Graham's, you pulling Drake's over here talking to somebody's spouse and they're DM trying to, or whoever they're with, a girlfriend or boyfriend, trying to make them mad because you got an issue of who that person is that they're with, or an issue with the person that they're with, and you trying to be petty to make them mad, you lame as hell, bro. Like that's corny. You're corny. If you do that, you're corny. I'm telling you, you're lame. If you've done it before and you here with your boy, correct your ways. Don't do that crap no more. Let them go ahead and continue. But lastly, if that individual is willing to do that with you making that request to them, they have no limits and no boundaries to what they will and won't do. Any person who makes moves like that, you're a complete idiot, stupid, a fool to invite a person of that character to be around you. In general, if you around a snake, you get everything misfortunate in your life that you deserve. I'm going to say it like that. Anything unfortunate that happens to you in your life, or snakish or grimy, you got what you deserve because you invited that kind of behavior into your home. Just saying.
That was like, yo, just pull up, blah, blah, blah. Just come party with us. We don't even want to do shit. She said she was telling Jason that she was going to meet up with Banks later too on one of the TikToks. Damn, bruh.
It ain't that deep. People gonna people. And if y'all broke up, it really doesn't matter, honestly. They gonna do whatever they gonna do. Like, for real. If y'all not together, what does it matter? What does it matter? They gonna deal with somebody else regardless. What difference does it make? If a person leaves you, that means they no longer a part of your life, right? So why you keep looking back and seeing where they're at? Why you keep looking to seeing where they're at? If they left your life, they don't belong in your life. What they do doesn't apply to you. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. That's just a word of advice. For any of you young ones here, I get it, when you're younger, you're a lot more emotional. But trust, if anybody walks, it doesn't matter what they do.
Imagine it to 5 years. Y'all just break up. You guys been rocking together for half a decade and she folds just like that.
I'm going to say it again. She ain't with you. It does not matter. It's trivial. Do y'all not know the definition of breakup? Breakup means you broke up. You're separate. You're no longer in each other's lives. It don't matter who that person's talking to once y'all then broke up. Now, there are certain nuances where if you start dealing with a family member to where you permanently become a part of their life with somebody else in their family, whoa, that's a different conversation. Even then, it is what it is. But That one, remember how I was saying earlier? I understand. Like, I understand, like having a kid with somebody's brother or something wild like that, or having a kid with somebody's aunt, mom, or sister. Hey, hey, I understand. But as far as that right there, man, it don't matter with them who they talking to, bro. It doesn't matter.
Honestly, no matter how much money I had, I'll be sick too.
Why? This person did you a favor and moved on. They didn't want to be with you. I'd be more sick if the person stayed for 30, 40 years and then woke up one day like, I don't want to do this no more. It's like, damn, you could have left a long time ago. 5 years ain't that bad. You know, you're in your early 20s. That ain't that bad. That ain't that bad. You could just move on. You ain't got no kids together that I know of. Y'all good. It's better for people to walk who don't want to be there. And if that's where she prefer to be at, cool. You can't be this old and be this emotional. Like, even then, if you got money, that should be the last thing you worried about. You need to have your money relationships how you have them, because that's what you wanted. So now you got monetized dating. Like CGA says, it's monetized. You know what it is. You do what you want. Why are you even in a relationship? You don't need to be in a relationship. You got money. Because no relations you have, all the relationships you have, is a high odds that they're not going to be genuine. So just treat people like they need to be treated, like she needs to be treated, and just use them and discard them. Or have them in a monetary rotation, because that's what it is. Just don't overspend. But you're going to have to spend because the position you put yourself in. It just be like that, unfortunately. And I want to be clear too. Like, I'm not speaking like the almighty, I've never had problems, I've never run into issues. My experience in life comes from me dealing with issues, right? I'm not saying that I was never a guy who was jealous. I've never got done dirty. I've never gotten cheated on by somebody with their manager at work. I've been there, done that. I've been through all of that. I've been through all of that. I've been played. I've been lied to. I've been got over on. I ain't exempt. It's like, I know on these videos people they be trying to come off as Superman, as super ultimate, never gotten taken advantage of. Yeah, you know, a lot of my experience comes because I've lived and I've learned and I've grown and I've gotten a lot of wisdom. And when you worry about trivial things, you stress yourself out, and for what? You're worried, getting upset, and for what? For somebody, peopling? People doing what people do? Why? Life is too short. Do you know how long we live? Like, think about that. Think about when you just turned 13. Think about when you just turned 18. Think about when you just turned 21. Think about it when you crossed 30 years old and now you're halfway to 40 or 50. No, bruh. Not wasting no energy on nothing stupid like that. You don't even live long enough to be worried about something stupid like that.
She was calling him Ricky too. Fuck.
I don't even know what that means, bro. That's enough of this high school drama, bro. First of all, we too old to even be discussing this. I just covered it just to give a little wisdom over situations like that, because this is very real and people deal with it. That's the only reason I covered it. Personally, with their relationship and FaZe, I don't care. I don't care about FaZe. I don't even know who these people are. Like, I don't care about none of that. That stuff it's irrelevant. It's high school drama. It's kiddie drama. Look, just take the advice and use it accordingly. That's all I can tell you. Now, for our next segment. That boy vibing, ain't he? But from the last video, there was a discussion about the pro players thing, and I wanted to cover this comment because this was one of those valid points. So let's go ahead and get our reading on. Let's make it happen. I'm sorry to say it, but 90% of comp players are casuals with egos, because none of them are going to make a dime off of the game they put so much emotion and effort and vitriol into. Can't really compete when there's nothing to compete for. They aren't going to win any money or sponsorships or houses or cars. They only make themselves miserable for themselves alone. And for what? The other 8 billion people on earth don't care about your GM badge if you're a pro or a streamer, or you make YouTube videos and get something back for that work. Different story. If you have the talent, the time, the dedication, and the circumstances to chase those things, different story. Otherwise, it's meaningless outside of your own self-worth. And if your self-worth is coming from a video game, there might be other issues. I played Magic the Gathering for 28 years. I was a comp player because I played all across the country to earn money. Was never pro level, but good enough to play versus pros often. Might not have been staggering, but I got a return on that investment. I played poker for a job at 2 points in my life. I put the proverbial blood, sweat, and tears into those games because I got a return. I was actually competing against other people because there was something to compete for. Poker paid my bills. I played a lot of games at high levels, but those two are the only ones I would say I was comp at. There's nothing to compete for in games like Rivals or Tekken for the overwhelming population of players. You're casuals working on hypertension, and it's okay, not the hypertension part, obviously. If people understood where they actually are in the hierarchy, they might not be so heinous to each other in silver and gold of all places. Have some self-awareness. There's probably cope, and people will always treat others like shit, but one can dream. I don't know what this has to do with the video. I guess I started thinking about it when you were talking about the disdain for modern controls and the added tools in the game for people who didn't want to toil over the game. Like you said, they should be thankful because modern controls make the money for all the fun and laughs at Dell's expense. You also make thought-provoking videos. Alright, I definitely appreciate that, and I do read those comments. But if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.